Welcome everyone here. This is our streaming podcast episode 3 or 4, whatever.
I don't know what episode you're on. I lost count.
Anyway, we are talking about DC and the recent Predator. This is mainly going to be talking about our Predator thoughts. If you've seen Tevia's video, if you've seen mine, you know how I feel. We're going to go more in depth with it and talk about the Predator franchise, how we feel about it, and everything between, because I'm not going to bullshit you. I've been a big fan of Predator, read Dark Horse's books, read a lot of stuff. I'm super looking forward to Marvel's direction because I think Marvel's good hands.
I know Marvel Alien comic came out this week.
Yeah, great stuff. It was good too. That was a good too. It was a really good start for Alien. I mean, that was already putting my confidence even further, so it comes with the films. Now, let's all face facts. The recent Predator movie was a humongous failure.
It bombed, and it sucked.
Oh, yeah, it sucked balls, all right. But, I mean, with different, multiple reasons.
Studio interference by 2075.
No. It wasn't studio interference. They reshot the whole ending because the director thought, it just wouldn't work.
Oh, Shane Black.
Yeah. And
she made a good director, but man, they busted.
Yeah, because remember, they had the fucking good Predators, which is a good concept to an idea.
Yeah.
But yet again, the way they were pretty much saying, oh, yeah, these guys are friendly, these guys are cool, and I'm like, and the way they were hanging out with the soldiers, no thank you. I mean, granted, I wouldn't mind them having them like they help the humans out. Like, hey, we are helping you for a reason. That's all, folks. And
I wouldn't know for that. That's not a cool idea.
But I mean, this is Disney's first time Predator series, Predator movie, and 20th Century Studios' first direction on their Predator film. It makes people like me wonder, should we trust the direction that we're giving? And I want to know more about you, Tevia. You know how I feel about it, but I want to know more because I'm sure many people haven't seen our videos, but if they have, subscribe to our channels. but just mind go on your thoughts a little bit more.
If you saw my last video out there, I would piss because what the fuck?
Just explain it. Like, how do you feel?
Anger, rage, stupidity. What the? This is a whole because what made the first Predator 1 and Predator is great and it's about like human fighting monsters. Not just human, but these murderers, psychopaths, or better than the soldiers fighting an unstoppable killer. That's the premise. What made Predator 1 great, it was an action movie, survival horror movie, and it worked. Predator was a great sequel to this movie, but it followed some concept with Predator, and it worked. And trying to take that concept and now switch it over with the teenager, it's not a bad idea because you gotta be kidding me. This is a joke because I'm not like, what the fuck? Like, who cares with this concept? This ain't a bad idea. You're telling teenage girl to fight a predator who is stronger, bigger, faster, stronger.
Just want to say something. And don't count the Archie comics, that whole Riverdale fucking crossover with Predator. That doesn't really count.
That's more a dark comedy.
Yeah, that was more like dark comedy. Now, granted, can it be a dark comedy movie? Yeah, it pretty much can be. It could be a very dark comedy thriller film. But when you have people like me who really question Disney on this whole angle where they were going for, and I'm like, this is what we're signing up for? This is
a big reboot?
This is your, no, I wouldn't say a reboot. This is your continuation or whatever you want to go on. What were you thinking? What are you doing? I mean,
why can't I get Dutch back? It's not Dutch.
I mean, first
you can't do that.
But wait, what Dutch? What do you mean?
Yeah.
No, well, kind of. You could. if you really kind of do what the Predator audio tapes on the game. You take that similar,
hunting grounds.
yeah, and you take that similar concept where he injected himself with Predator DNA, and pretty much he's still kicking and screaming. That's all he does.
Yeah.
Come kill me now. Come on, you
Get to the chopper.
yeah. That's, and you can have that whole one-liners, all that shit in one movie. And granted, it would be fun, but I mean, I don't think we're ever going to see that.
Yeah, we're not.
But I mean,
well, I was watching it, but after Terminator, yeah, they're not funny with the shit. So maybe they won't do it, which is a shame.
But yet again, I mean, he could. I mean, I don't think he would be. I don't think he would go against to it. I mean, like knowing him, I'm like, I think he would take it because there was a lot of people that said the same thing with Terminator.
So,
A lot of people said the same thing with a lot of things on him. I think he would do it just because he wants to go back to what his roots was.
yeah.
But
like,
I mean,
Dark Fate made it bad, but he had to do good in that movie, not the Genesis. He both good.
yeah,
Both
I mean, like, well, let's not talk about Terminator because I'm like, but I'm being honest with all of you. I wouldn't mind Dutch to come back, but it's just I would rather see newer characters, newer ideas.
Yeah.
Like for me, I wanted to see the first time a Predator clan takes on a human, and pretty much he pretty much raises this kid or this adult woman, pretty much, and
What they kind of did in Douglas comics.
yeah, that's what I was kind of referring to. Yeah. That's what I was kind of referring. I want similar to that, and we go forward with that direction. But the problem is, without Fox or Disney not doing that concept, is kind of missed opportunity. The bigger issue. I mean, but granted, I mean, like I don't know how people would think if we introduce those concepts to that whole scenario. To where,
I never put any Peacock did that concept, kind of, sort of.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, for the film we did see at the female character with Predator, that happened in that movie against the Alien.
But yet again, I'm talking about the Predator, where this human Predator joins the Predator clan, and he joins the.
Oh, yeah, my bad. That didn't happen in the movie.
That's what I want, and when you have shit like that going into your film, it would have been a really good direction. It would be fresh. It would be refreshing. Yeah. But are we going to get that? No.
No, we're not. We're going to.
I mean, this movie needs to only do one thing: modern, successful. If you do that, you're done. You're set for life. If it's a modern, successful film, it's a low budget to the ultimate degree, not CGI, practical effects.
Not practical, but with some CGI.
Yeah, some CGI if it needs to, but just go full blown practical effects. You just need to do that, and everything will be on your disposal. If you get that, I think personally, Disney will just be fine.
It did much to be good because remember, Predator with all the the new for all the practical and CGI. And that one.
But yet again, I mean, like, look at the Predator movie, the first one. That was full blown practical.
Yeah,
you had a rubber suit guy. You had a guy wearing a hot degree
Yeah, like the original Predator was practical. True, that part is agreed. But new Predator, I don't know how it's gonna work. Who knows? How does it again with you?
So sorry about that. I had a little fucking dog issue. But yeah, I mean, you had Predator go on in this direction to where, okay, so let's go do this Predator in an interesting, darker direction. And I really feel like if you don't do what you really need to do, then honestly, it's going to be a missed opportunity. like missed opportunity to the worst degree. I mean, I just want them to do a good job. And if this concept wins me over, I would take the L. I really would take the L. But, yet again, I just don't buy it. I'm like, okay, you're telling me that we're going to have a Predator movie to where, we're going to have him pretty much go fight a teenager girl, which sounds so fucking ridiculous. I couldn't believe Disney hired this guy for their fucking movie. It's just, I don't understand it.
Yeah, I'm good. In fact, I really found the article where I found information. Oh, Triple God.
All right, what's up? Yeah. What's up, man?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about this? I mean, like, mind asking. I mean, personally, with me, I'm very much, like, kind of torn a little bit on it. I mean, tell you the truth. Because, I mean, I'm just kind of looking at like, this is what we're getting. But granted, I'm trying to trust Disney because it's already like we got that seal approval of people dissing Disney because of X, Y, and Z. And I get it. Oh, wait, are you?
Not today, July 2022. That's cool.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I can wait. I can wait 2 years. We'll make that 1 year.
I mean, that's something I can definitely see.
By the way, I got the article.
I was pissed at a lot. And buddy, you should see me get pissed off.
Yeah.
2 years ago, when, like, granted, I wasn't really pissed off about 2018's Predator movie, not as much as I was pissed off at Alien Covenant.
Covenant broke you. I mean,
it broke me hard. It really did. I'm just like, what's this?
That is the article about the new Predator movie, and for what I can tell, K is the female, not the Comanche. Comanche? I don't know what that is. A man tried.
Oh yeah, Predators was great. It was awesome.
Yeah, Predators. Like I just don't understand this logic. Like what administrator? So apparently, this 8-year-old kid TV dies for what you told me.
Yeah, what I've granted, what I've heard and what I've gained is what I've saw is pretty much a predator, a young girl who pretty much fights a predator who pretty much, and the way they describe this woman is like, man, she is one stubborn fucking girl. And
that's why I feel article well, because she's
it's pretty much she's a stubborn girl and doesn't want to take no for an answer, which is fine. I'm okay with that because let's all face facts. In today's society, that's how we are. And, I think people don't want to...
Pacific Rim 2018. Oh, yeah, Pacific avoiding for an Oak Trooper.
I hate... Honestly, I hate it. Well, I thought Pacific Rim was pretty good. Wait, are you talking
about Pacific Uprising? You're talking about the sequel.
I think you saw. Yeah, I was a little bit of like hoping. Like, are you talking about the sequel? Or you're talking about the original film. But granted,
it was awesome. The sequel is garbage. Speaking of
Speak about that. We asked for it. We asked for a sequel, and we got it. So all you gotta do is blame yourself. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, avoiding.
Yeah, I saw it. But I mean, like, I wanted a sequel, but I got a fucking shitty ass one. I can't blame the studio as making it what I wanted. Granted, I could blame them some, but it's like, you're not gonna get it. Sometimes it's best to just let it go. Like,
actually, speaking of Pacific, we did get another sequel, the anime series on Netflix. It's awesome. Watch that. That's better. That's my sequel.
I'll look into it. Like I was a little skeptical on that one. I was not a big fan of the animation. Very much.
Yeah, the black is awesome. I get Ultra Joy.
Are they going to do
black?
like okay. Yeah. The reason why I'm a little bit hesitant on that show is because they kill off my favorite show, and I'm really actually twice take that back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, the black. Yeah, I agree. Ultra but the black is amazing. Hey, Brian Bow is pretty cool. I gotta say that. You know. Favorite anime? Probably my hero.
Black Clover, no Black Clover, Claymore. My fault.
Yeah.
That one. Black Clover is just a fucking Naruto wannabe. I'm sorry, it really is. When you steal a part where not only you took the main character's traits, Sasuke and Naruto, and the part where the Nine-Tailed Fox fucking battle with the hold on.
You. Wait, you mean me or you mean I'm confused? I'm confused. Huh? You both.
Yeah, what is it?
Oh, yeah. Basically, you said, no, you actually, you both. My favorite anime for My Hero Academia.
Mine would always be Black Clover, not Black Clover, Claymore, and Dragon Ball in general.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan of that series. I'm always going to be a fan. I love Naruto as well, but I feel like Naruto kind of killed itself after Shippuden, because when Shippuden started, it was a downhill spiral.
Shippuden is happy in the middle end.
I mean, personally, if you ask me, I think Shippuden is the worst. And I really think that anyone that doesn't, like, there are great things about it, but it's just that the consistency of Sasuke and Naruto's bullshit bad writing really hurt the series. Granted, what do you think that Transformers?
Cybertron 2005.
Oh, it was great. Awesome. Probably the second best series out of that entire trilogy.
Cybertron.
It was the
are you finished the trilogy?
Unicron trilogy, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, that. Armada was good. Its sequel went to shit. The third one was kind of like more of a soft reboot. And honestly, out of all, I think Armada was the best one. Sequel was garbage. Film I think was okay. It's more a soft reboot, but yeah.
I really liked it. I thought that was. I thought they went back to square one. I mean,
Galaxy Force.
Galaxy Force was pretty good, but I mean, back to the main topic. I just don't know what to say about that whole movie. I'm trying to be hoping that we get proven wrong. Would you admit you'd be proven wrong if it was good?
If it turns out good, then I will admit, fuck it, I was wrong, and it's a good sequel to Predators and Predator. But if I'm right and it's going to be garbage, then I'm going to say, fuck, this movie is going to be garbage, not even worth me ever see in my life. Then I was right, and I hate saying I love Predator, but the Predator franchise has been fucked ever since Predator 4. They want sequel, just with misconception. Oh yeah, oh yeah, now I remember. All three shows were Dominic Dub, but before they were English dub.
Oh, mind asking. You told me about Morrow that it was originally that shit was going to be on GT. Where do you fucking heard that shit from? I want to know proof. I want to see the proof because right now I'm kind of like, I really would love to see that.
How the hell is that from GT? That makes no sense. GT, yeah, whatever.
What he told me is they were going to do 100-something episodes. But
that didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen. The series was kind of axed. And it ended on a good note.
So GT did end on a good note.
Because it was a callback to the entire series. It was a journey to where part of the journey is the end. And they ended on a really good note.
Yes, in the guide. What guide?
Guide. What?
Issue 150.
On what?
I'm confused.
Because I mean, like, is there a website that has it? I mean, like,
I'm lost.
There's
more go on at Super Saiyan 4.
But then yet again, that was Young GT. That was Young GT designed that character. That was not Toriyama's.
Toriyama.
Yeah, Toriyama. I mean, that was not Toriyama's.
GT would already planned for 150 episodes. Oh yeah, that did happen. It was a plot 150, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, but I mean,
first start with Black Star Dragon Ball, which that didn't go anywhere. That
really. Okay, I want to say this right now. That whole good concept, but
bad execution.
Yeah, bad. The only thing that really shone in that entire series is fucking
the Baby Saga.
I was.
Say the name of the god. Gotcha.
His name is. I was searching the guy name. It's what? Okay. Let me search.
Yeah.
Send a link down below. I'd love to see this design because I mean, like personally for me, it really kind of.
Well, try saying YouTube. Didn't know you said doing same way you used to look at bullshit readings. Because
I'm like, because to me, I am surprised. Like, what's his face? The clickbait bitch himself, Geekdom, hasn't talked about it.
Give me a minute. Okay, take your time. There's no rush.
No. All right.
Anyways, I probably plenty concerned. We'll see how it turns out. I'm not gonna have this stupid idea, but I think crazy ideas worked out before, so maybe there's a podcast. But let's face it, Predator has been shit since Predator 4, but we'll see.
I would argue. Oh, go on.
Oh.
You first.
If this thing's in a garbage, then you're gonna see his grand video.
Oh, you'll hear it from me. I'll be like, what the fuck you were thinking? You're the chosen one. I hate to sound like Obi-Wan.
Yep.
It said you would bring balance of the Force.
Not even die to destroy it.
Not destroy it. No, great. Guaranteed you will hear it. I mean,
yep.
But besides all that stuff, I mean, I really like the fact that you get to see a lot of the directions on DC's fucking movie. So I'm like, oh, so you're telling me that you're not going to continue the Snyder Cut? How do you feel about this?
Honestly, I saw that one coming a long time ago. We had no plan. So, fuck it. What's Snyder Cut? Just your own thing, even though you have no plan. Just do solo movies.
That's what they did. Like,
That's exactly what you had before.
But yet again, I'm like, that's what they kind of pushed them to go to, because I mean, like, look at their last ones.
Dragon Ball GT Fukuyoko Perfect Fire 1 on Japan Book Anime Manga Toriyama. That's the name of the book. Okay. That had to be interesting.
All right, I'll look into that.
I'll probably look it up because that does sound very fascinating.
All right, because do they have more character designs?
They probably do.
All right, because if we're gonna go, like, because they say, if we had more character designs, that it's more likely they're going to be in the show.
Yeah,
they're probably going to redesign those characters up to be something new and refreshing. It's kind of like
Broly.
What?
Broly, huge redesign.
No, not really. It was more like just slightly tweak. Great. Full Metal Alchemist was great.
I love that show. The show made badass and one of the best shows at the end of the fans. Both of them good. The original series and Brotherhood. Brotherhood I think is superior, but I think the series is still good.
I mean, like, I'm a little, like, those are one of the, like, here's my problem, like, of those shows. I mean, the whole thing on anime, and it's like, we're very lucky that shows like Full Metal Alchemist and Inuyasha get another season, because it's very rare for another show to get another season. You get what I'm saying?
Technically, this Inuyasha is more of a sequel series than a.
But no, I'm talking about Final Act, because the original.
Oh, Final Act. Gotcha.
Yeah, because the original series, I'm not talking about like the newer series. I'm staying away from that show, because I mean it's basically an anime only. It's kind of a little bit of a GT scenario. The creators
is pretty good.
Well, it really lacked on explaining what the fuck's going on, and really trying to tell what happened to all these other characters, and really nothing. And it's just like.
We got some answers recently.
What happened? I kind of. What happened?
I forget what episode. We did get flashback with Sesshomaru and Yasha, and well, the answer we got is kind of confusing, but I'm so intrigued.
Tevia, don't make me go look that shit up and make me come get your ass. I mean, but besides all that stuff, Brotherhood or
Brotherhood, both.
Well, we like both, but I mean, like, I like Brotherhood a little bit more. But I mean, if you want to know my opinion on other shit, I mean, other anime shows, I mean, like, for me, would have to be Yu-Gi-Oh, the original series, GX, 5Ds, and Zexal. That's really the last good Yu-Gi-Oh show I pretty much kind of stood by. You okay? I'm gonna say this. You better pray and hoping that your series has beginning, middle, and end of your entire show, because they're already mapping out the next final arcs.
Yeah.
And granted, I'm like, we better hoping that shit's better be good, because oh boy, if that shit's good, if it's great from beginning, middle, and end, I'm like, it ended on a good high note. But I mean, I just, like I said before, like in my last, I had to take it down because I'm like, I really just didn't want to hear the bullshit, because the anime community really kind of is very toxic, and to me, wait,
who? I don't know what it is, and frankly, I don't want to.
Well, who is it?
Omiko Takashi. I don't know what it is.
Who do you did? Just throwing us on bone. Naruto, like Inuyasha or something?
If it's Inuyasha, then that sucks. But yeah.
I mean, granted, I'll be more like it just tells me you just didn't give a shit. You just only in it for the money. And
which makes sense.
Granted, you could say the same thing with Toriyama, which honestly, I'm like, I was kind of, granted, I'm a little happy that he's continuing his work, but I mean,
yeah.
I mean, like for me, I don't think I'll ever shit on a Dragon Ball saga unless I really just did not like it. Like the Tournament of Power. I felt like it was lazy. I mean, like, granted.
I like the Tournament of Power, but it was really good for you at the end of back awesome.
I mean, granted, I'm not going to deny it had some great moments. I mean, like, it had the first female Saiyan, which is Kale and Khalifa. And, granted, we had that
when she transitioned to the female bully.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She's cool. I mean, I like her, and I would love to see her reactions towards Broly himself, because that's going to be the icing on the cake. Like, she can control her rage. And that's the thing, where can Broly do the same?
Yeah.
And that's the bigger question. And another thing about Dragon Ball Super, and this is the one thing I really am going to say this, Dragon Ball Super kind of achieved everything I wanted. And I really just don't see any direction that I really would go after, like, Broly. I mean, like...
Yeah, nobody else to go.
But for me, you told me, like, for me, you would have to... Wait. Oh, well...
Don't forget Mermaid Saga. I don't know what that is.
Never heard of them. Never heard of
it. I've watched Demon Slayer, and you had been pretty good.
I heard Demon Slayer is really killing it in the manga sales.
Yeah, it's been awesome. They haven't been made so far.
I mean, and that's true. But I mean, like, speaking about anime shows, I mean, like, I said,
Talk about yourself.
Okay. Whatever. Don't care.
Yeah, no comment.
But just mind saying this. I mean, like, for me, as a guy who really liked reading manga and all that stuff, I just don't really see anything worth a shit in manga. I told this to my friend of mine. I mean, like, look, mangas are mangas, but I mean, when you don't see anything really worth your value on your manga, it really just kind of makes me feel like, what's the whole point of doing the whole series if you're just going to end it like that? You get what I'm saying? And then have your anime just kind of play damage control. You get what I'm saying?
But I saw a dub of both. I like the dub because I can't do sub.
He doesn't do subs. I mean, for me, if you're talking to me, subs only come for an exception. Unless there's not a dub, I will not give two shits about it. Same. I mean, like, I watch Gundam Wing dub, no problem. I watch Dragon Ball, no problem on dub. Yep. It's kind of, granted, I kind of diverse myself to the main person who does the voice of Goku and everyone else, because I'm like, if you really look at those people in Funimation, they're a piece of shit. And and it's kind of...
What's that called? We'll be able to do that crap. Yeah.
But yet again, it's just how things are with people today. But I'm just saying how I feel about Dragon Ball and everything between. But I mean, being honest with everything on DC now, we're going to the DC topic.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about them. I really don't. I mean, like, I would love to. I would love to have someone really tell me that I'm wrong or not giving them a shot. I kind of understand how people think. I understand how people think on, oh, you like this, you like that. I'm like, yeah, I do. I think that it pretty much is more appealing if we go forward with the Snyderverse.
Like, or another option, if you want, I think you can say, but you had a fight, Davey. Let's continue with, let's not just finish the trilogy, finish the and let it be its own separate universe.
But if we do that, we would have to reboot Wonder Woman, we would have to reboot Flash and all that shit, and DC fans would not want to, like, there's a core of audience of, let's just say there's a cult of Warner Brothers that would rather not continue the Snyderverse and just go forward. I tried to talk to one of my friends of mine. He told me, or he told his live stream, that he said, oh, I don't think the Zack Snyder's characters really feel like heroes. And I'm like, okay. I mean, like, I understand your opinion, but I mean, that's really what was this?
Spider-Man garbage community.
Oh yeah, Funimation. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, like I said, what's that talking about? Because that is a minefield of bullshit.
That's a whole different subject we could talk about. But I mean,
but we don't. Yeah, oh yeah, in fact, we have time for that.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, we don't have time for that stuff. That really, it's just, it really is not worth the shit. I mean, like, I would rather just go do my own business and just go on my own miserable life, you could say. But I mean,
Same.
But but back to the main topic. I mean, I just feel like with DC and everything between on that, it really kind of says a lot when you have a universe that's very just doing shit just to shit us up.
Yep.
And it kind of makes me upset to my stomach to where you're only doing shit just to keep us quiet. And how do you feel about that statement? I really want to know.
Honestly, I'm not surprised about that because there'd be no plan. He said, "Nah, fuck it. We can't see inside because we ran out of ideas. Let's do the multiplayer do it out there where and get the 5 minute wait to start it. Wait, what? Are you guys fucking alright? Simon made money. The Equal Mastery has success. Like, check lifestyle, finish the trilogy, finish the story, and you want to end it? Fine. But let's start with finish the story before you reboot the thing. Like, I just don't understand the logic. I don't like. People are talking about it. Like, just, are they afraid of money?
No, I think they're afraid of that was not our universe.
True.
I think that they're afraid of. They look at Snyder's universe as we made our own universe, and we need to achieve that goal. If we don't do any of that stuff, then honestly, we're going to be looked at as a failure, and Zack is going to get all the credit. It's not an opinion; it's a fact.
It's a fact.
And you know, I'm sorry for everyone being the bad side of the news, but I mean, I just don't see where can we go from here. Like I did my own video, I pushed my own opinion. And I've said my piece on this whole stuff. I really want Zack Snyder to go forward to continue his story and maybe even do some DC characters that will probably never get the light of day, like a Cyborg film or his own Justice League movie or the Batman Ben Affleck film. But for me, I just feel like this universe had a lot of potential, and it just feel like they only wanted to try to compete with Marvel just because they were being successful.
Because the MCU been successful and said, "Yeah, fuck it, we didn't make our own universe," even though you had no plan whatsoever. Like, Snyder had a plan.
Wait, hold on.
WWE had no plan.
No, WWE had no plan. Zack did.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder had a plan from the very beginning. People may not like it, but it was pretty much a guy who had a concrete from beginning, middle, and end, who had a universe, had a story, and everything between on that stuff, and it was pretty much going to go forward.
Granted, some of the ideas were kind of bad, like the whole Batman World Ring, but no.
Yeah, but I mean, the size of that stuff, I mean, you couldn't tell me the whole death of Lois, him working with Darkseid, going forward. It was just, I feel like that really would have been really great. Yeah, the whole evil Superman arc. We would have had that scene all the time, but I mean, it would have gone something really genuine worth a shit. But I mean, but when you push something back and you cancel films and you destroy actors' fucking careers, it really it tells me that, wow, this is going to blow up in their faces just like 89. You know, when Tim Burton's second Batman film and pretty much the rest after that shit went down the toilet and we got Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, what happened? We got a shitty fucking 2 Batman movies, which granted I kind of let go Batman Forever. You get what I mean? All right. I mean, because it had like some traits of darkness, you could say. I and I really kind of feel like they did a good job. But I mean, it's just sometimes a bit of the fans is somewhat to blame.
Yeah.
I mean, you get what I'm saying? I mean, like, I'm hoping
I get it. Like you all have to worry about something that they need a scapegoat.
I mean, like,
For better or for worse, that happens a lot with any fandom these days. For Star fandom, okay. Even though I'm a Star fan, I do like
I mean, like, personally, I'll say this. I would rather, like, I'm sorry for everyone pretty much saying they're gonna throw like, oh, you just hate the prequels because of that. No, I don't think they're very good. Take the Clone Wars cartoons, take away all the things that make that universe great. What do you have? A trilogy that ruins Darth Vader. The third one was the only good fucking film.
And
that's where George. And it's like, if you're gonna do that, then really you should have just made a one and done film, or just made a 2-parter film to where you get to see the rise and fall of Darth Vader, or him the fall.
Well, Anakin Skywalker, and then the fall.
Yeah, exactly. And you couldn't just go forward from there, because I'm sorry. I mean, like, granted, the kid who played little kid Anakin really was not worth it. I'm sorry. He really didn't deserve what he got. He was a good actor, and he really deserved all the credit that he does, because I seen his other work. He's a good actor. He was a good actor. Sometimes kids could really do a good job, and it's very rare we get a good kid actor.
Yeah, I just feel like the bad betrayal.
I just feel like some of the Star Wars fandom or any fandom kind of ruins it. The same thing with the
Star Trek. Star Trek fandom is also mess.
No. Like, there was the Avatar live action film.
Oh, that.
Yeah, the little kid that played Aang, or should I say Aang? He got the same treatment.
Fuck. I don't blame him for that movie. I blame more like Shyamalan bullshit.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. I mean, he was trying to do what he could. Granted, some actors are not that very good, but I mean, Natalie Portman, I seen her work through other shit. I mean, she was decent at a lot of things, but a lot of things that made her movies great is probably the supporting actors. Sorry, I just don't see her being that very good. That's like saying, what's her face? What's the actress who played Mystique in fucking X-Men First Class?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, her. And funny enough, they're kind of looking at her as the one that kind of will lead her to be Mrs. Fantastic.
Invisible One.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Granted, she's not my first choice. You get what I'm saying?
I get it. If they're going with Ultimate Fantastic Four, that's a bad idea, because you tried that. It failed with Fan Force.
I mean, granted, we did the same thing with Spider-Man, and it failed, but they still do it. I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. What they're gonna do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
But besides all that stuff, I'm gonna say this. I'm being brutally honest with all of you. I really just dislike the bullshit agenda on certain actresses to where they want to star them. You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
I just don't like the fact that you wasted your time on an actress that really could have been, let's just say, not as really worth going for. And you're pushing this agenda because of that very reason.
No.
That's just me.
Anyway, we'll be able to talk that crap. But anyway, back to DC. I thought it was a DC movie coming out. Suicide Squad movie looks great. I meant for the trailer came out, was amazing. It's fun.
Suicide Squad looks really good.
I'm looking for that.
I mean, it looks like a good movie to pretty much go all out on. I mean, but again, it's James Gunn, the guy who made the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy film.
Yep. And they have Starro, the giant starfish.
Yeah, the giant starfish, and it's good to see his ass. Granted, it's kind of funny that you got to see a character that was basically a Justice League villain that should have been no offense to Zach, but I mean, I think he should have been the main villain for Justice League. We had Loki as the first villain in the first Avengers film. Why not do the Star? Yeah, like that fucking guy. I mean, like, but yet again, I know why. I get it. I get Zach. I get what he wanted to go. He wanted to go the epic greatness at its finest.
Yep.
And it's like, typical him. He's that typical director, which I'll be all for. And it's just, I think that'll be, honestly, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be probably going to be one of the few DC movies I'll probably go watch and support. And I'm not going to support Warner Brothers.
It's not that much more James Gunn.
I'm like, to me, James Gunn really kind of ruined it every feeble way. No, not James Gunn. WB.
Yeah.
To me, they ruined it. To me, they fucked that whole thing up. To where you're telling me you're just gonna obliterate us because X, Y, and Z, and I'm gonna hold them to it. I'm gonna hold them to that whole thing because I'm like, so we're gonna pretty much push back all the stuff we were wanting to see for Snyder, and we're just gonna pretty much all this was just please fans, and that's it. And
the fact we go away to Snyder Code did what?
And honestly, like people say, like they want fucking, and that's the thing. Like they have pretty much unleashed the door. They have opened the door.
Yeah,
James Gunn even kind of talked about like it made you money, but you're not gonna continue it. You get what I'm saying?
Which is backwards logic. Like
yeah.
That's how this works.
And that's kind of like James Gunn. And like, granted, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another director for Wonder Woman 3 and Suicide Squad 3. And that's another thing too. How come Suicide Squad gets a sequel and not a Justice League film? Granted, I'm sure we might get another Justice League film, but it'll be probably different. It's going to be
a reboot.
Yeah, probably be a reboot. It'll probably be something new, something fresh, and that's really it. But the one movie I really am looking forward to is the Black Adam film.
Same.
Henry Will said he's not.
It's Mango Soups.
Yeah, that's it.
I got bad in Snyder Code, but anyway, back on Droid. Not surprised though.
I mean, like, is it still coming out 2022? Or has it got pushed back from its original release date? Yeah, okay, it's still gonna release 2022, which is good.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna be like the Batman movie, the Suicide Squad film.
Yeah, we're gonna cut them all. The most.
Yeah, those movies are probably gonna be my last DC movies I probably support.
Back on Blue Beetle, on the other hand, okay, Blue Beetle, I think that could work. I
don't think okay. Blue Beetle, and that's another thing. How can Blue Beetle work? I would rather save that character for an HBO Max show. Because
that's not a bad idea. Because you do Jaime Reyes, you could for good damn reason. You're dealing with a lot of characters that really people don't really know that very much, and you don't know it's going to be successful. Yeah,
and I would rather just have them fucking just cancel that movie or just push that into an HBO Max.
Yeah.
And
back on the other hand,
I'm afraid. And this is another thing. I'm afraid of that movie. If it's going to be canon to the DC extended universe, which I've heard that they're going to have Michael Keaton be a part of that film.
Even though I hear he's the Flash movie, that's not going to have anymore.
Tell you. Imagine this: we have it where Flashpoint erases all the events of Zack Snyder's films.
That through my hood and just fuck you idiot.
Imagine how everyone would feel if that actually happened.
Explode rage. I'll be laughing.
Dude, you would pretty much, it will be over right then and there.
Yeah. I'll be laughing, but then like, you motherfucker, you really a gold mine, you idiots.
Like, I mean, it'll basically be the ones to pretty much say, okay, Warner Brothers, you pretty much won. I'm done with you. I'm like, granted, I already admit defeat to an extent because I'm just enjoying the show. I'm just going to enjoy the last few things I really like, and pretty much that's really it. Like, to me, the worst thing will be the whole factor of having Cavill not showing up in Shazam 3. Or Shazam 3. As you like to call them that.
Yep.
And I really would rather have Shazam with Aquaman, not Aquaman, Wonder Woman, or yeah, even Wonder Woman. I wouldn't mind her showing up in Shazam. I mean, it would be cool seeing that. Maybe the two of them kind of go a little bit of acquaintance, and to me, she kind of brings like voice of reason on her level. You get what I mean?
I get it. Mm-hmm.
But besides all that stuff, I mean, what the fuck is this? Hold on, give me a minute.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Back to what I was saying. It's just the fact is, I really don't like the fact that we're in this position, and I don't know, like their DC slot. I just feel like Superman will probably be more likely an nostalgia to the Superman fans, and this one actually works. Now Superman Returns.
How is he coach this movie? Gonna be a Black Superman? Would you go be at the?
I don't know of that. I don't know of that one yet.
Yeah.
That might happen. But the problem is, that will be a whole can of worms if that happens.
Yeah.
Because if that happens, the backlash, the race card, and I mean the race card would go over 9,000.
Yeah, people are gonna be enraged
because I mean, people say DC's going political.
People are going woke. Like, I hate that word. That word doesn't mean anymore.
Here's the thing. Okay, what's the problem of doing political aspects to your superhero movies? Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing.
Captain America's political.
Yeah, Captain America's political. Tony Stark's political. He's a guy that makes weapons. He's a guy that made weapons during Vietnam. And hell, Stan Lee said, "I wrote Iron Man as a Spider-Man, not Spider-Man, not
anti-Vietnam, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like he was there was this guy who was this big time scientist guy. You get what I mean? And,
I get it.
And he thought, I thought this would be cool. I mean, you get what I'm saying. I mean, like,
yeah.
And
so X-Men political.
Yeah, exactly. You had all this crazy shit, and you get all this stuff, and I kind of feel like people don't understand what is political if they really if you really show it to their asses. And for me, I really just
Green Arrow at the Soldier of the War had been very concept, but people don't like to remember that stuff.
They don't want to talk about that stuff because if you do show them that might just literally look stupid, and they don't like being stupid. That's just basically how I see it.
Well, it's kind of both sides. But like I said, I'm not gonna talk about Rubio and all that crap. But
I mean, like this is just for me, and this is just how I see it. I would rather have a story to where we go forward with a character and you had political aspects to your film, then fine, do it. But I mean, introduce a character just to piss off fans, just to give the fuck you to Snyder. You're not going to win because Snyder doesn't care. Now, granted, Snyder said, I would love to return, but you never know. I mean, he's kind of a little bit like dropping the DC heart on the whole thing. I feel like Snyder, what's this? a character that everyone loves and you hate. No,
That everyone love and you hate. There are Bendis character I don't like Naomi.
Naomi's fine. I don't know why.
I don't hate her, but in every other book I did not like her. When acting she's stupid and Young Jay is screwing me.
You just hate the fact that Bendis fucked over your character.
I'm still mad about that. I'm never gonna go. Yeah.
But I'll say this: Payback's a bitch, because that's how I felt when your last Steam Riders did it. Oh man, it was pure epic fight. That shit happened. We just love doing shit like this, guys. But besides that, God,
that's enough.
hold on. Sorry about that, guys. All right, continue talking, Tevio. Just continue talking.
Yeah. Like I said, okay, I want to go anyone you hate. Like I said, Naomi, I do one, but I don't hate Naomi. I just she's annoying. But what you want, okay, I know everyone loves. I think I got wait, people don't like I know it. Shit.
People do. I mean, here's the thing: people do like her because you wouldn't have people like me defending her and actually.
True.
You're like, you remember that shit. We remember Jim. And I was like, no, man, I thought that was cool. I thought that was good. I mean, and I didn't really like too much on Dr. Doom. And he's like, well, we're like, and Grant, thank God I'm not talking to his ass, because seriously, I would probably kill myself. Because I mean, like, I couldn't fucking agree with him. The guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about half the time. He thinks Marvel's throwing an agenda, but yet DC did an agenda to you, and you're just too stupid enough to fucking see it. And that's just one of my worst mistakes was collaborating with that guy.
I thought maybe I think he a cool guy. He might be.
I mean, he might be a cool guy, but I mean, I could never talk to him and take him as seriously, because I couldn't pretty much say, oh, why don't we do this or why don't we do that to a certain character, and I'm looking at him like, you don't get it. The reason why I quit reading DC Comics is because they cater to you. They cater to you. They're not targeted towards people like me. People like me is what DC needs. People like me are going to be pretty much going to help them be successful.
Who? I don't know who the two kids are. Harley Quinn, I can understand. Ezra Bridget. Oh, yeah, that's from Star Wars. Yeah. From Rebels, I can understand that. But I pretty like Ezra. He had to grow me at the end. Season 3 got much better. But that's just me.
But yeah, I mean, besides all that stuff, I mean, like, I'm hoping for the best for DC.
For the woman, Sandy.
But I just don't really trust them. How do you feel about Winter Soldier and Falcon? I
liked it. I think episode 2 had made for episode 1. It's
how do you feel about U.S. Agent? I want to know how you feel about him, because I'm glad they kind of did him justice. Really did. Because it reminds me where they were trying to do. There was this Captain America storyline to where Captain America really just wanted to pretty much do it a different direction, and the government says, we couldn't allow you to become Captain America, so you pretty much have to quit Captain America. And you had U.S. Agent show up, pretty much kind of took on that role. Yep. You get what I'm saying? I'm hoping he gets his red and black costume and his red and black and white shield. You get what I'm saying?
Yep, I get it.
But we'll see how things go. Anyway.
Speaking of show, one more show. Did you see Invincible?
No, I haven't.
I have it amazing. It's a bit of a fan of me. I love that comic, and this show's been awesome.
I haven't. Granted, the reason why I have not watched it, that's a person. I'm getting real telling you guys. I love his books, but I really don't like the fact he really he really did something that kind of pissed me off. To where, okay, one, you're shitting on like anything that shits on Marvel to a degree. I get a little offended to an extent. Call me a little bit of a fanboy now because Marvel has everything I like now. You get what I'm saying? I mean, Predator, Alien, Star Wars,
Ultraman.
Ultraman. I mean, the only thing they don't have is Transformers, and if they got that, I'm a Marvel fan for life, buddy.
Technically, Transformers wasn't Marvel, but then they did stuff with Marvel. With that,
again, like I'm saying, if IDW went out of business and all the rights went to Marvel, people like me would just be like, I'm gonna buy the first issue of Transformers. I'm gonna buy the first issue of G.I. Joe. I'm gonna be, and also the Ninja Turtles as well. And we could possibly get crossovers with fucking Spider-Man and Daredevil with the Ninja Turtles, and oh gosh.
Oh, we got a comment. Oh, Trooper. I'm not play after WandaVision. The show was great, but I'm nervous. I pretty like WandaVision, but I guess it means with the ending.
Why? I didn't really hate the ending. I just knew it was never going to happen. Why are you not impressed of WandaVision? It was basically a pretty much a show about Wanda's grief. Now, granted, a lot of the theories kind of ruined the show to a certain degree.
Yeah, all figured all bullshit. Then my theory was all the X-Men stuff, but then I knew it was not going to happen.
Granted, I'm just thinking, well, now how are you going to introduce the X-Men then? That's what I'm asking. Because now you kind of lost your. Granted, they could bring that opportunity to where. Oh wait, what's this? Well, what's it called?
They wanted to come out of a future movie, not a show.
Well, that depends. Like sometimes.
Not really.
Wait, what? Not really on what? What do you mean?
No, it didn't feel like a commercial. It felt more like a self-contained story.
Okay, all right.
At least in my opinion.
Here's the thing. I don't think a WandaVision movie would have worked because when you actually really think about it, you would basically have like a 2-hour film and it would just be all over the place on different tones. Versus a black and white, then it's a 80s, then it's fucking modern day shit. It just went all over the place on the tones. If you did a movie, when you do a show, you have a lot more breathing room, and it's the same thing with here. Like they've been like, I'll use characters for an example: Miss Marvel, Ironheart, Falcon,
War Machine.
Like they were planning to do these characters a lot, and that's the thing. And I really like what they're doing with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I like the fact that the responsibility factor was.
Devin Cinema COVID killed the cinema. COVID didn't.
No,
okay. MC did not.
Here's the thing. It's more like Marvel is the only thing that's good in cinema. I'm sorry to say this, but times are changing. If we're going to use that fucking statement, then we'll use the same statement with the action hero fucking bullshit in the 80s and 90s. They were
died the body.
Yeah.
It's not dead. Because John Wick survived.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's true. But it's like, and also The Rock as well. Look at him.
The Rock's doing
that. But I'm saying that time factor will affect with Marvel. But I feel like with comic books, it really kind of blends in a lot of times. With a little bit, like same thing with horror, it blends. It takes different different directions. And
westerns.
Yes, well, westerns kind of like the same thing. You can't really do much.
True.
I mean, westerns are westerns. Look at it's the same thing with gladiators and swords and medieval times. It's
sci-fi.
Yes, sci-fi. Yeah, same thing that one too.
Yeah.
But with horror, it goes with different types of genres. Sci-fi. Thriller, supernatural, like stuff like that, you will bring in the table. I really kind of feel like, what was
I'm
actually?
talking about quality. I'm talking about living in what?
Yeah,
Latino America, every chain of cinema broke.
yeah,
Okay, I don't know what that means. Sorry.
I'm only
Sorry,
looking.
man. No because they never have an on demand. I don't know what that is.
I
Okay,
think.
I know what the on demand stuff, but I don't know what the
Do
other
you
stuff.
mean? Do you mean the like the death of cinema, like
Like
movie
the
theaters?
movie.
Or you're talking about like movies in general during the time frame when movies were, we're kind of a little bit lost of what you're trying to say. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just send you a link. Here you go. Fucking might as well just fucking come down here. All right. Just come down here.
Mm-hmm.
Just come down in the link. Just click the link and just make it a account and come down. Because we're kind of lost what you're trying to say. Because I was about to end this shit and pretty much going forward.
Well, as far as the PDC concerned, we'll see. What? Drinking right over here. Oh, Trooper, you still here?
He's probably still here, but he's just probably doing something right now.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. There he is. All right.
Oh, Trooper.
All right. Now explain to me what you're trying to mean.
I'm not talking about the quality of cinemas is dead. I'm talking about the places of cinema broke. Here in Latin America, there are no cinemas anymore.
Oh, that sucks.
I mean that movies need to move to on-demand services or television because cinema isn't gaining money anymore here in.
Yeah, but that was basically more of the inevitable. Because
Yes,
I mean,
that's what I mean. I'm not talking about quality. I'm talking about business money.
yeah, I agree.
Oh,
I mean, like,
goodness.
but here's the
Gotcha.
thing. Here's the thing that gets affected more than
What I
anything.
mean,
Well, here, like, I know what you're trying to say, but I'm like, here's the thing that gets affected a lot more than anything: the fact of having the entire movie theaters going to streaming would basically be the icing on the cake. But the worst case scenario for just in general, the out of theater experience is like concerts, like type ordeal, or actual plays. That's even worse because now with the COVID situation, granted, we're not gonna like. I guarantee you, like the vaccine, yeah, it's gonna help it, but there are different variations of the COVID fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, that's cute.
and granted, I'm kind of hoping that in Comic Con, we don't have that situation, but I mean, they're opening in November. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Which is a kind of tough sentence.
well, I'm just gonna say that Make Comic Con online was a disaster.
Well, not really. Comic Con I didn't do well before I heard it was last year. It was not great.
You know,
This year, I think
But they're
it's better
opening.
maybe. Who knows?
But they're opening up. They're opening up for everyone. So I'm like, I'm just kind of
Yes.
thinking, I'm going.
But we have to admit, most of the people go to conventions because they want to disguise and interact with other people. It's not the same that you put everything in a video online.
True.
But I mean, like with that whole thing is like the whole problem is like going to sports. Like my problem with that is like special events stuff like that, or going to the theaters. It's like people are going to be very much not going to be going to a theater or going to concerts that, let's say, their favorite band or maybe a sports entertainment event, a football or wrestling.
Basketball.
Or stuff like that. And it's like they're not going to go to that. It's maybe like half arenas, and it's just like it's going to hurt them more and more. And I don't know how
Tell me
they're
about it.
Huh?
I'm a martial artist and I couldn't go anymore to fights, to practices because all the dojos in my city closed.
That sucks. Sorry to hear that.
Well,
Yes, I need to put everything in my house, everything, the bag of punch, the costal,
Yeah.
everything. I need to put it in my house because all dojos where I went are closed since March of last year.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Well,
since
also considering it better than not get worse.
hmm,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, I mean, how do you feel about the DC movies right now? I don't mind asking.
well, I'm kinda excited at this and at the same time no about The Suicide Squad, the new movie,
Yeah, I'm
because
looking forward to that one.
despite looks good, but we already know that Warner is Warner, so I'm kind of nervous.
I mind asking. I mean, how do you feel about um, the whole thing on Snyder?
No, Snyder thing is horrible thing what they made to him.
Like, I mean,
You
how do
mean
you feel? Like, how do you feel about them pretty much trying to erase that stuff more and more? Because let's look at it. 84. 84 pretty much causes so many problems. So many,
April more of its own sequel soft reboot.
yeah, it's that too. But I'm like, they really just made it to where it's like we just don't pretty much do the character what we should have done in the second one. And or the first one, should I mean? And it's like, okay, Patty Jenkins, what was it? Is or what basically what it was? Was it you that made that first movie so good, or was it Zach made that movie so good?
well, Zack was co-writer, not writer. He was co-writer in
Yeah,
the
he
first
only
one.
wrote parts of it.
I mean, he
But the
was part of
problem
it,
is
but he was.
Patty
But you could.
Jenkins.
But you know,
Patty
here's the thing.
Jenkins. I think that the problem is Patty Jenkins is a good director, but he's not a good writer. And let
So-
her write the sequel was the first mistake. Not the only one, but was the first.
So the Doom guy wrote part of that movie, and yeah, the same guy wrote the Arbiter Man 5D movie wrote Betty Wonder Woman. How did that even happen? No, get that
Warner
wrong.
Logic.
The Doom guy who wrote the Superman by Doom movie wrote Betty on Wonder Woman 1984. I can't remember. I looked that up.
Yeah, Jeff Johns fucking wrote that shit.
Well, no, not the same. I said the Superman by Doom movie. You know what, The Rock?
Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah.
He wrote Betty Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh god.
Yep.
I'm done now. Like, you mean the movie license video game?
Yes.
Hero. No wonder that movie sucks for balls. I mean, this is just ay. But yet again, I mean, my problem with that
The
film,
movie with The Rock.
yeah,
He wrote
Which
Betty.
movie of Doom? The Doom movie with The Rock?
Yes. He wrote Betty Wonder Woman 1984.
it's-
He was part of the Rain team.
I dislike the movie, but I think that it's a funny disaster.
oh, it's laughably bad, and you can have
That's
fun.
what it.
Yes,
The other Doom
bad.
movie, the new one, was
Those
also
movies
garbage.
are so bad. They are so funny.
Yeah. Jeremy is one of the universe by MCU. They pretty much don't care what Doctor Vision. 616 man. I agree with 100%.
Hey, you can come on board at 616 man if you want. I mean, if you don't mind. I mean, but you know, the Rock's okay. When the Rock, I don't know about that one. I think personally that movie is going to be basically like, okay, where does this time period go? So is it after Shazam 1 and it's before or during the events of
Egypt?
huh?
In the old Egypt.
It's
Yes, I
it's
saw them
probably
too,
said
because-
modern day with the GSA.
Yeah, exactly.
I really don't know.
I mean, like, they said that it's going to be a modern day, but it's like, how much of a modern day is it going to be? Like, where's it? Like, and that's the thing. Like with Marvel, you know, a timeline. They give you a timeline. Okay, this movies take place this movie, or this movies take place before.
Or this show take place in.
And then Captain Marvel movie came out and ruined that timeline.
No, we got them all the way in the 90s.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Yes, but the problem is that in that movie, the young Nick Fury have hair and no beard, but in Captain America, you see a photo of John Fury with two eyes, and he was bald and he have beard. But in Captain Marvel, he
Really
doesn't have that.
don't really care too much about that. That the really it's like Nick Fury's always like the background character.
Yeah, you're in the background. And,
I mean, like, and that's another thing too. I mean, like, and here's one more thing, just to back up my point on that whole thing. Okay, first of all, one, he should have been the main character of Agents of Shield, not Agent Coulson.
Yes.
The problem with Nick Fury is they don't utilize him. So now
they don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Technically, he's been Secret Invasion.
Yeah, apparently he's going to be like. Granted, it would be great to see something like that. I mean, like it's good to have something like that. But I mean, the problem is when you go forward with that character, you basically are doing what we should have done. Now, everything with Marvel is a cohesive storyline on terms of what the main core characters are. Like, what I mean is like that, like Nick Fury losing his eye. Like, yeah, that's a small little plot hole, and pretty much.
I hate Goose as a character. That cat was annoying to me.
But I really don't give a shit.
Goose is funny.
I thought he was funny. I'm like, granted, but I just didn't give a shit. But I mean, because it wasn't really my problem is how does the character work? Because let's all face facts with Captain Marvel on Carol Danvers. She was a Captain Marvel clone. That's why that character was created. If people say she was not, you would have to be a fucking idiot.
I hate why they do with Marvel first, then Captain Marvel. I really love Marvel.
Huh?
Oh yeah, Marvel.
They turn Marvel into a old lady, and I hate that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? The brain, fucking the mastermind. What are you talking about?
The fact that Marvel in the MCU is a old lady instead
of. Here's the thing. Okay. It's the same thing. Okay, you're talking about the big head guy, green guy. You're talking about that.
You mean under Supreme Intelligence?
Yeah.
Which we didn't get to see.
Yeah, like that whole thing. You talking about that thing? Because I'm a little lost on what you're trying to say. Are you talking about the Supreme Intelligence of the Creed?
No, I didn't. No, I think you're referring to Marvel.
This movie was an old lady.
Yeah, you're referring to Marvel. Who in this video they were the character mentor.
Oh, wait. Excuse me. Oh, yeah.
The fierce Captain Marvel.
I will say this right now. I'm not the biggest Captain Marvel fan. I'm not a
Marvel fan. I don't hate him.
I really love Marvel. Especially the Ultimate version. The green
one. I got awesome.
Look, man. I know where you're coming from, but I never really was a big fan of that character. That character was the only thing was fueling Carol.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers. And when you have her become that character. Really, what are we going to do with Marvel? I mean, I personally feel like Marvel was a character where they're going to do what they really feel like is right for that universe, because a lot of times they made different directions, and for the benefit it worked, and the benefit it didn't. But that's mainly Iron Man stuff.
With the Mandarin.
And not just that, what's going on before that, Justin Hammer?
Armored Adventures, what about that?
Huh?
What about Armored Adventures? Is a different direction.
That was not Marvel Studios. That's
Marvel
Animation. It was the same studio that made Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Heroes.
That was a really good show.
That show ought to be decent. That
was a really good show.
Do you know Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Heroes?
Yeah,
I do.
It's one of my all-time favorite cartoons of Marvel. It's one of my favorite shows of Marvel. I really love that show. For me, it's the best. It's the best adaptation to Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Joe Vinaga did not see 3.
Yeah, why they can sell that show was amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's actually an actual got canceled.
For me, that show has the best Doctor Doom.
I agree.
Oh, I can agree with that.
And Paul Dobson as Doctor Doom is great. Great. I
Both
love it.
that show and Event Urban Hill did a great Doctor Doom.
And it's the only show who remembered that She-Hulk was a Fantastic Four member.
Yep.
Because he appears in some episodes as a Fantastic Four member, She-Hulk.
Yep.
I really love that show, really. It's so bad that they cancel it.
Okay, I mean, before we kind of end this and we go on, do our own thing.
But I don't have enough time to ever care justice or accuracy. Plus, company always think about general audience just read the fans with wacky Easter eggs. Yeah, you're not wrong with that.
First, okay. Let me just say my whole opinion on the whole Brie Larson type ordeal. Okay,
I really like Brie Larson.
I don't mind the movie, but my problem with the film, it has too many directions. The biggest issue with that film, and this is something that most comic book fans don't talk about, is they talk about the problems on certain issues of the film, but I mean, but what about the whole part where the film has two creative ideas and it clashes multiple times, and eventually it just kind of gave up, saying just do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, just fuck it.
And
one question, dudes. What do you think about Ant-Man movies in MCU?
I like them. They're both great.
Forgettable. If you want to know my opinion, forgettable.
I think they're fun.
Really? For me, I think that they are pretty funny because they are the few movies
Granted,
that doesn't take seriously.
Granted, I haven't seen the second Ant-Man movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
But I really love
that movie was great. That movie was
But I mean, like,
great.
for me,
you love that movie a lot. I'm not
me,
the biggest fan of MCU, but I really love that movie.
Like, I love I'll say this, I love the MCU. It's just my problem with the MCU. It's just that, what's your end game? Like, that's the point. Or what I'm saying, it's like, where does this go? Because
that was my problem with that game. Endgame is supposed to plan as the end, but they care a lot of future movies instead of closing the universe. And today we are basically
Endgame was the endgame for a lot of characters. It ended a lot of story arcs.
It ended a lot of characters, but it opened. Like, here's the thing about that statement: it ended a lot of characters, but it opened up a lot of characters' stories.
Well, technically, it doesn't open anything. They let them in there.
Well, here's the thing: like, Endgame was not supposed. Like, here's the thing: Endgame was not supposed to be the plan for them to end the universe. It was just the end of the whole saga that they did.
The Avengers story.
It was a borrón y cuenta nueva. It was a clean and it started since. You know, hey, Smolka, I have one question for you.
Sure.
What do you think about Endgame? Do you like it or not?
I love Endgame. Endgame was my favorite movie of that year. It was amazing. Give every Avengers fan.
Now, why do you
really dislike Endgame epic. No, I came the Endgame. I dislike it a lot. Honestly, what? I'm being honest to you, but I really dislike Endgame a lot.
Well, why do you dislike it? Love to know.
I could explain it for hours, but I can't.
Just tell me, like, what do you dislike it mainly?
Well, first of all, the time travel thing, it was a kind of disaster.
A disaster. It was the only way. Do you want them to get killed again?
Do you see Gurren Lagann?
Yeah, because
why they just
think that was
let the characters dead?
Here's the thing. If they went charge in like they did in the comic book, they'll just get killed.
They'll all be dead in 2 seconds.
That statement right there, it's like, dude, either you don't see where they're up against, like, they could try to fight Thanos, and all Thanos has to do.
I don't have any problem of Thanos doing but I really.
I'm just saying. I'm like, well, you better, like, you kind of get, like, when you talk about this stuff, I'm like, okay, I mean, give me a little bit more, like, you kind of back up your claim, because what I have problems with Endgame is only one character, is Thor himself. Is because of that movie ruined his entire trilogy. His whole
the King Thor stuff.
Yeah, the whole trilogy was to have it where he was supposed to become king. He was supposed to have him pretty much rule Asgard and everything between on that.
Yes, I really dislike Thor in Endgame.
Huh?
You like Thor in Endgame or not?
I thought he was fun, but I just really kind of felt like the movie just kind of ended his story on a bad note.
Yeah.
But you know, for me, the biggest mistake of Endgame was the time skipped. For me,
I
Well,
personally,
probably a
I
time
don't know
skip.
why
because
not
they
do a time skip.
I dislike the time skip because they basically waste a lot of opportunities. They waste the opportunity to
They
see
couldn't
Hawkeye the
like
Time
once
running.
here's
They
the,
waste.
like okay on that whole statement right there, like dude, you had the Infinity Stones gone.
They were
And plus, by
destroyed
that
by
point,
Thanos.
Yes, it's more
yeah.
interesting focusing a movie of the characters accepting the death of others and leave than reviving everyone. But
But here's
really,
the thing. Here's the thing. The Ant-Man was not around until 5 years later. If
Ant-Man was still
Ant-Man
trying
wasn't,
the quantum realm, and
yeah,
Ant-Man
he was.
yes,
lost.
but the
He,
rat thing was a disaster. The rat thing was a disaster. Really, just a rat putting in the Louis chain and then Ant-Man goes out. That was really lame for me.
well, I'm sorry. I mean, like, I don't see any other direction. I mean, like, personally, like, would like the whole thing. Like, if you're gonna complain about them not doing anything on that whole time period, but I'm like, okay, then you might as well just hate Avengers: Infinity War right then and there, because if that was your biggest complaint, it's just that's what I'm kind of like. I'm not trying to shit on you. I'm just kind of throwing logic on that. And it's just that's just how I see it. I mean, like. You get this. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I hope you do.
Um,
Anyway,
I understand what you're saying, but believe me, it's more like a personal thing. But I really dislike.
I
And
understand. I respect your opinion.
I get
I
your
do.
reasons, but I'm like, I would say it's very, you, my like, you got to give me something like a little bit of like bone that I could say like, okay, I get it fully, but I'm like, I get your reasons. I just really strongly disagree with it.
Asgard doesn't have enough beam particles, but at the ending scene, he turns big and tiny a lot of times, despite he doesn't have beam particles.
So what?
Eh.
Like that's a fan nitpick. That's all I kind of say about that.
Nitpick.
Yes, I know it's a
Technically,
nitpicking,
there's
but I
still
really
pinball.
have to get out of my system that thing.
But,
Yeah,
but I'm not like
I
my problem is
understand.
it's just it's just the fact of they like Thor's trilogy should have ended on a high note. That's my problem.
Which we are getting done when we Thor Love and Thunder. We got
Yeah,
Jay
which
Buster 4.
honestly, it's and it's only going to end Thor's story a lot more damage because they confirmed the cancer of Jane Foster. We all
Yep.
know that's going to lead to Thor's going to.
Oh yeah, her death.
Yeah, and when that happens, Thor's going to practically get a break, and he's going to lose his shit. And yeah,
The main man's Gore the God Butcher. But I'm looking for that's awesome.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. But I mean, like, I'm just saying. I mean, like, I'm just saying what the facts are. I mean, my problem with the Marvel universe is I want to know where do we go after the let's just say X-Men and Fantastic Four, because they got another 10 or 15 years of this shit. The
Do you
long,
think that MCU will fail at some point?
yo, dude, you're gonna see 10. Like, I believe you'll see the continuation of MCU through 2050.
250. I'll be an old man by then. I'll be
Yeah, you'll be basically an old man.
50.
Yeah, 2050, because they have X-Men, they have Fantastic Four. They can replace the Avengers at a certain point to where after they're done with the new Avengers, after you introduce Miles and pretty much have Peter Parker either retired or killed,
and have me marry Mary Jane, have me get your daughter Mary Parker, get my dream,
or that too, but I mean, like, or we go forward and we had it to where we ended on with such big climax, and we do, and this is by that point to where after we do the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and the Deadpool movies, and we do all these multiverse type stuff, and we go forward with all this crazy shit going forward. we're going to end up rebooting this universe. It's
that's gonna suck. Because I don't want to reboot. Just end it a bit high note. End it right there. You don't need to do any more movies.
We get it. Like, okay, all right, Tevia, you know me, Tevia. Okay? We could say the same thing to Batman and Superman. You do know that ain't gonna fuck.
I know.
I mean, like, you don't end something that's your cash cow.
No, you don't. You gotta keep going until it dies.
And you do it again, and it's rinse and repeat.
Try playing an alien fighters. More than Planet Fighters.
Well, the alien. Well, yet again, that's the same thing, but it's a little different to a certain degree, buddy. But I mean, like, the facts are, I mean, like, I see the MCU lasting a very long time.
Yeah.
When they reboot their universe, it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big moment where when you end your universe, when you end that whole thing, it's going to be huge. And it's going to be a moment to where 50-something years or 50 or 20, 30 years of direction up and down and going forward. But granted, that's just how I see it. I don't know if they're going to do that direction. That's just my personal opinion. Because, you know, Marvel has so many stories, you could just do this shit forever, you ask me. But, I mean, you got what I'm saying, guys?
I get it.
I want to know from you, Trooper, do you feel like Spider-Man really kind of feels like they're just doing big-time stories and not really focusing on his solo stories? I talked about this with a friend of mine.
I'm agree to you. The one reason I personally, much people get mad with me when I say that, but I really hate 616 Peter Parker since I hate
Explain.
his actual version, not his old version, his actual version.
Well, why do you hate 616 Spider-Man?
I personally think because more or less it's because he's a long-running character who doesn't grow. And really
I can agree with that.
You're not entirely wrong with that. That part is actually legit. I blame for the silent bullshit.
I mean, that's the reason I would prefer Ultimate Peter Parker, because at least he revealed his identity when he died. He learned revive in a pretty mess story. And in today he's an Avenger and he's with Aunt May.
Ultimate Jane.
In 616 version, he's just the same dude all the time. They made a great change, and in few numbers they went back to it, his marriage with MJ.
I agree. I totally understand where you're coming from. But granted, I mean, like, that's why I like Iron Man and Thor a lot more, because they actually grow to a lot.
They really grow in
the problem is
like these versions.
For me, trying to interrupt, but the problem is, they would Marvel and that bullshit. Tevia,
to be fair, Tevia, and I'm not bullshitting Dark Trooper on this. You have it to where at that point, Spider-Man's just the same character.
Yes, I want new things with the character. I'm sick about watching the same thing. That's why I really like Ultimate in its time. But the problem with Ultimate is that after 100 numbers, they started repeating the formula. But at least Ultimate ended. But
Ultimate got blown up.
Ultimate ended. No, it didn't.
Unpopular opinion, I really don't like his death in Ultimate Universe, but I prefer that he stay dead and they revive him, because I'm really not a big fan that they revived Ultimate Peter Parker.
Well, to me, I kind of feel like that was just the icing on the cake, because they were slowly building up him to be a character in the main Marvel universe. That's my take on it.
Wait, what?
I'm talking about Miles. No, Tevia. I'm talking about Miles, dude.
Miles.
Miles.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about Peter Parker Ultimate.
Like, I feel like that they just revived him because they were gonna just have Miles be pushed more to the MCU and just
but they forgot about Ultimate Universe. Basically after how was the name of that event in 2015? Secret Wars. They forgot. And in Spider-Man 2, I actually have the complete volume in physics. In Spider-Man 2, they say that the Ultimate Universe was always alive and they doesn't make anything with them.
Even though the man said we're going to blown up at the end of Civil War. That made no sense to me.
Tell me, it's Bendis' universe. He started.
True, Bendis made that broken. The
Like,
mess.
tell me, it's his baby, so he can do whatever the hell he wants.
True. Not the Mark
That's like saying to me, bullshit on certain things on different directions on yours truly Spider-Man or Superman in the Superman comics. You get what I mean?
Yes.
But anyway, I'm
That's pretty cool.
I'll say this: do you agree with the whole problem with the Hulk? Really, they never continue his story.
MCU?
Yeah, the MCU.
Where?
The MCU.
No, I really dislike MCU Hulk because they basically rush his story.
Yeah, I can agree with
understand
that. But I mean, do you agree?
I very like the
Hulk,
the Incredible Hulk of 2008.
No, let's say this. I feel like I understand you like the other Hulk movie because I like Smart Hulk. I like Hulk to where
like in Everybody's Heroes where he can talk and be a number.
Be
I
his
really
own.
like the tone of the character, but I think that tone of the character where Hulk is a smart and person needs to be grown because you can have Hulk being intelligent since the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like they rushed this story, and they even there was no plans to introduce Hulk in the Ragnarok film. I believe they shoved in Hulk just because
Universal.
Yeah, because of Universal. I feel like Universal really just didn't want to budge on doing another Hulk film.
No, they did. They wanted to keep the lights.
Most people still doesn't know that Hulk is a universal character.
Huh?
Funny. Much people doesn't know that the reason of why Hulk.
And also, what's even worse is every time Hulk is in a Marvel movie, they keep the rights. It's almost like you could take.
Why can't they just buy Hulk away from Universal? It's like they have all the money in the world.
But here's the thing: I don't know. I'm just kind of concerned on She-Hulk and Red Hulk now.
Yeah, She-Hulk.
I want to know. Do you feel that Red Hulk should be the main villain in the second film, and you also introduce the She-Hulk as well in the second?
X-Men. Cool.
I have Ultimate X-Men. The complete.
Oh yeah, Ultimate X-Men, really good shit, really good stuff.
I love that series.
They ruined it in Ultimatum, but before Ultimatum was pretty good.
Ultimatum, I go with
Ultimatum, fucking murder.
Ultimate X-Men was great before Ultimatum. After Ultimatum, they rushed everything.
Agreed.
Here's the thing: Ultimatum really damaged that series the worst way possible.
And DC made the same thing with Apocalypse War.
Huh?
Basically, Apocalypse War was Ultimatum, but of DC.
Oh yeah, Apocalypse War. Now I remember that series. That series with my
Hey, 616 man, you can come down here if you want. All you got to do is just sign up on an account if you want.
I'm Brandon, Jeff Johns, fanboy John, fan editor, Chief Quesada, the deal.
I'm a big fan of Geoff Johns.
I don't like Quesada. Pissed me off because you ruined my reaction.
Oh, dude! I mean, I could say, okay, buddy. I was kind of a little. Now I'm kind of like for me, I'm always my dad stopped reading Spider-Man comics after the death of Gwen Stacy, and that the last issue he read was the Clone Saga, the first one.
Was it in the 90s?
No, the first. We're talking about the first one.
Oh, the 70s, 80s, right?
Yeah. The 70s, yeah.
70s, yeah.
And that issue, he told me, look.
Wait, how he?
What was that? On that Spider-Man.
This is the second volume of Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yes, it's a variant cover.
Okay, that's awesome. That's really cool. That's kind of interesting they did that. But I mean, my dad stopped reading Spider-Man after the first Clone Saga because he told me that the first Clone Saga really kind of told me that Marvel really didn't know what the hell they were doing with Spider-Man. And I kind of read that issue, and I'm like, so you're telling me 30 issues of having Peter having depression, no motivations on having him hook up with Mary Jane, and all of a sudden he hooks up with another broad. It really
You
is.
like Ben Reilly or not?
Huh?
Do you like Ben Reilly's character?
Oh,
I
yeah,
think Ben cool character.
He's a really cool character, but I liked him more as a villain than anything.
I didn't like him villain. That enraged me. Like, what
that
the fuck?
was
What have you done?
shit ever, and I
swear, man, I was enraged.
It was the best shit ever. You made a character that was practically Spider-Man in his own way, but you change it to where, let's change it to this direction to go.
Yeah, son of a murderer.
Yeah, yes, but also a cool, sadistic villain, and I absolutely adore it.
I hate.
I knew you hated it because and I know a friend of mine hated it too, but I'm like, it was cool, it was awesome, it was bitching as hell, and I loved the twist. And granted, I had some biggest issues on it, like Dan Slott just repeating the story and just kind of going forward. But I mean, the facts are, I mean, when you have a lot of bullshit on comic books, it really kind of tells you where they were going for Spider-Man. And everyone is like, will Peter get back with Mary Jane? I'm like,
I'm glad it happened at the 10 years of cut Dan Slott.
I feel like now.
You two agree that Peter and MJ are toxic relationship in 616?
No, I disagree completely. I agree with you.
Tell me, you haven't read the 90s books. You haven't seen you have?
I maintain the money to control the coins. They fucked it up.
No. You were seeing the stuff that you read. You haven't seen the stuff what me and our trooper have seen. We have seen. I granted, I understand what you like, but let's all face facts on your character. Your character is a what if scenario, and they expanded upon, but they never really expanded upon what was the great about that universe. It was a missed opportunity.
MC2.
Yeah, Marvel M2 could have been a really good push for that universe. I could say the same thing on the 29.
Universe.
Heroes are Born, your universe.
Well, technically, my universe was the Ultimate Universe to a certain degree, but I mean, again, my core, like, if you want to know my core of the Marvel Universe, it's mainly the Iron Man books, the Thor books, and partially Avengers books.
Yeah, Avengers books. Marvel, X-Men, and Spider-Man.
Well, actually, my favorite series, despite Iron Man is my favorite character in Marvel, I think that my favorite comic series of 616 are Moon Knights. I like a lot Moon Knight running in 616.
Oh, Moon Knight. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Moon Knight.
Oh, yeah, the Moon Knight series. That was cool.
It's one of the most experimental. I like it because it's one of the most experimental, because as Moon Knight is a pretty underrated character, Marvel, like I say, it's a pretty experimental thing of Moon Knight comics. They experiment a lot of things.
The news have been amazing so far.
Actually, a lot of characters that die in Moon Knight comics stay dead. They never revived.
Well, not exactly, because X-Men broke death recently.
Oh, yeah,
because in 616, if you die, you will later or early you're going to be revived. But in Moon Knight comics, people never revive.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Moon Knight could burn, Sharon Punisher.
But I mean, like, for me, and this is just how I see it, and I mean, like, I'm just saying how I feel about, like, in comic books. I mean, like, a lot of the stories I like the most is, like, some characters runs, like the Planet Hulk, all the way down to where before the Doc Green shit happened.
Doc Green, when you joined more than Maestro, then that didn't happen. You see what happened.
Yeah. I think he was kind of pushing that Maestro direction, but I don't know how he was going to do it, because if you're going to do Maestro, you got to make it make sense to him, because he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
He's insane.
Yeah, he's insane a lot of times, and I like. And where do you go with the other Hulks? Are you gonna go have it where they become maestros? Or are you gonna have Miss Maestro? You get what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
And what
Hulk-
about Scar? Do you
What?
like Scar or not?
Scar, I think you're saying the problem
well,
is
Scar
Scar
is good.
got
I mean,
put over.
like just like yet again, like A-Bomb, Red She-Hulk. I love them. Every single one of them were.
And Amadeus Cho?
Huh?
Amadeus Cho, do you like Amadeus Cho?
Who?
Who? What do you mean?
The new Hulk, Amadeus Cho? The Hulk of...
Oh, no,
Oh,
I'm
you
in
mean-
the show. I'm in the show. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he
I
was-
thought he was not great. He wasn't
You,
bad.
I mean, as a Hulk casual Hulk fan who read like for me, I only read like a chunk of Hulk stories. I'm reading the older stories of Hulk, and a lot of it is pretty damn funny as hell. Like I remember, I read a two-part storyline to where
I mean, you know.
the Mandarin and Sandman teamed up, and Hulk just absolutely smashed the entire.
That's funny.
I'm done. I'm done. I swear to God, this is the best shit ever. And it's just, what is that? Is that the Moon Knight?
No,
No,
it's a
that-
Orange.
that's
I
a
just
Power
want
Ranger.
to...
That's
Okay,
one
alright.
Dino Fury, I think.
No, I think it's Dino Charge. Yeah, it's Dino Charge.
Yeah, Dino Charge.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, Red Charge is my favorite season.
No, it
Nice.
is. That's cool. But I'm just saying. I mean, like, I what's that word? I'm trying to get into the most good Hulk stories that I really like the most.
The Peter David one is my favorite one of all Hulk stories. That sort of epic.
But I mean, like, yeah, Peter David's pretty cool. And I did not wrote. I read the issues to where Gray Hulk and Green Hulk kind of butt heads to one another. And it kind of reminded me of the 90s cartoon, which everyone hated season 2. And I'm like, so wait a minute. So
Why? You got Shield in it.
you had like, okay, and I find out to where, the moment they introduced She-Hulk, it just got too light and Hulk, and I'm like, so basically, you prefer the dark person who pretty much is just battling this monster. It's like, I'm sorry, that can only go so far. And I'm like, and that's the thing.
You can't do that story forever. It's
Yeah,
impossible.
that's the thing about fans where they don't really get it. Hulk is great, but you gotta do something more about, like, how can you, like, you gotta bring something more into it to where he's not just battling himself. You gotta
That's why
make
Mortal is going cosmic insanity.
it's more like going to cosmic fucking loony land, if you ask me, because I'm like, what are we doing? What are we going? I mean, this kind of shit. It's like, I'm totally lost here. I'm like, so you're having the leader going inside of the Hulk, which is not really original. It's been done to death. But I mean, you get what I'm saying on that point?
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, it's just the fact is, when I look at stuff like that, I'm like, you got to look at it like, I'm trying to give it the writer a shot, but it's like, it's kind of the same thing how I feel about the writer who's doing Thor. Like, I'm not feeling, I don't like the Donald like story arc. I just don't like it.
Oh yeah, Donald went insane.
Yeah. And what's this? Oh wait, hold on. Yo, you're 616, man.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Oh,
What's going on, man? What are you doing?
huh, good.
How you doing, man? What's going on? It's just like, we're just about wrapping this shit up. I mean, like, how do you feel on situations on DC and everything between on that stuff? And what is your favorite writer, or what is your favorite direction on certain characters that you like? I mean, like, and also certain things that you dislike, because I got
my part.
I know
I was people on me. They've been married that they have a daughter, and my boy got and then superintendent herself. Doing penance and everything, and might be a couple.
Yeah, and your shit pretty much ruined my freaking relationship. But anyway, go on. But what about you, 616?
I like the Bendis years. You know, that event-driven years when everything was on and off and on and off.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Secret War. No, not Secret War. Secret Invasion.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. I like the street level characters.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
gotta say that.
Oh, mind asking, what's your thoughts on the recent? How do you feel about the recent Marvel stuff? I mean, like on the shows and everything between on that.
Well, the shows are kind of they're kind of in a weird spot where it's like post Endgame and people think the MCU is over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like I'm interested. Like I watched some of WandaVision. And I haven't watched Falcon and Winter Soldier because everyone's like spoiling it all the time. So
yeah, I would just like kind of like just if I were you, just go watch WandaVision and wait for that. Wait for the wait for that show. Wait for the next show to end and then marathon that. Just bridge it. Just like I feel, and that's the thing to me. I feel like people just don't like Avengers Endgame or just don't like the fact that it ended in their eyes, but it really didn't. I don't.
People want an ending, but they don't really MCU to keep going until it dies.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I feel like MCU is going to last a very long time. And
that's what WWE want to catch up. WWE tried to catch up, they failed miserably.
Yeah, they did. And it's like they tried to force Zack Snyder to go do all this shit, and I think he was going to do it, but I honestly think like they really just didn't.
Yeah, care. the whole Zack Snyder thing is really it's very disrespectful, but very weird and very corporate-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, like, I'm going.
Like, I'm a fan of the characters, and I know a lot of people. It was very controversial with his take on the characters.
Same.
Yeah.
Because I grew up on that like Bruce
shit.
Timm universe stuff.
Same.
Oh, yeah.
And when Didiot was like running DC, so
yeah, don't mind me. Yeah.
Well, what was that? Like, what was during Bruce Timm? Like, I mean, mind asking.
Oh, like the the animated stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, you just named Batman. It just named Batman the animated series. I know exactly what you're talking about. I was kind of a little bit lost to a certain degree, sir. But I mean, like, yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. I grew up with that stuff too. I mean, to be fair, I was kind of born on that stuff. But I mean, for me, I always kind of feel like not everything's going to be what you grew up with. Like, I grew up with Iron Man during the 90s stuff. I remember.
The Night Iron Man show.
Yeah, I grew up with that stuff.
Season 2, I didn't find it the best one. Season 1 wasn't that great.
I mean, like, it's just, for me, I just kind of feel like, and also the Spider-Man 90 show, but I'm like, I don't go on a massive agenda to where, Spider-Man's not supposed to be like this and the Tobey Maguire's compared towards the animated series, which everyone does now. Everyone does that.
Really insanity.
Which is
it's really toxic on social media. Almost like everything is just toxic all the time.
Oh, dude, brother. I mean, like, you're right at home in my area because I'm like, if you have a different opinion, I'm like, hell, you see me and my friend Art Trooper. Now he gave off his reasons. I'm like, I was kind of questioning it, but I'm like, okay, man, all right. I'll question it, but I'm like, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I mean, like, you get what I'm saying? I mean, like, it's just like,
yeah. I think that's why they're trying to do the multiverse thing. To give everyone what they kind of want.
Yeah, here's one thing about that. If you're with Marvel and you kind of achieve that goal or you establish your universe, you really much could do that stuff.
You could do whatever you want. No consequences.
You could with no consequences because people like, whatever, I got the movie or I got a continuation from that character or whatever. With yours truly,
DC, they have no plan.
It's more like, let's use that as a shield and let's just try to get away from it.
Yeah, I've heard that they're already
it's not even the motivate. That's the motivate work in DC. Like, they don't get the concept of it.
Yeah, it's not like the multiverse is supposed to be a big event to where you build up to it, and that's exactly what I feel like they're doing with Marvel. Now, granted, they have trolled us to agree. I have
twice in fact.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Thank you for being me. I mean, like, but yet again, I'm like, I know when they do it, it's just going to be icing on the cake. I mean, like, you don't want to. Oh,
Yeah. Because I know, like, for DC, I keep hearing that they keep developing almost 50 to 100 movies at a time. Because I heard today that they're trying to do a Teen Titans film or a Wonder.
What the hell with this and that? I don't
No,
know.
that's all rumors right now on
Yeah.
that whole thing. My whole thing on that whole statement, they'll never do it. They
Yeah,
don't-
because it's
Yeah,
legacy.
I'm still going on now. That my visual, thank God, my visual still at the Lava King Casino 4. I'm just happy about that.
Yeah, I was a little kind of concerned. Like, I don't know, maybe get canceled. And I'm like, no, it didn't.
No.
But I mean,
Yeah, because like all the the legacy characters, they
No.
always get screwed over.
Which did infuriate me.
you're right at home with me because I'm always like legacy characters. Like I liked Miss Marvel, Jane Foster Thor.
Roy, aka Owen Wolverine, my favorite character.
Yeah,
Roy,
but I know. I mean, that one too. I mean, she's a really good Wolverine. It's just the fact is, like, people only prefer the original. And it's just,
Wally, my favorite Flash. Still getting screwed over.
Yeah, I grew up on Wally West and Bart Allen as Flash and Kid Flash when I was a kid.
Same. Where was my Flash for 25 years?
I mean, personally, for me, my favorite character, one of my favorite characters is the Vision. He's been he hasn't been utilized as where he should have been. In my
opinion,
like I feel like Vision has been thrown under the toilet pretty much a lot.
I know in the Tom King Vision book he had family.
Yeah, but I didn't care for that shit. I mean, for me.
Yeah, his family were were they destroyed or something?
Yeah, they were
in that book.
All except one, babe. Babe is still alive. She's in champions, but they see potato champions. We're an outlaw. A stupid event in that fucking sense.
Which honestly, I'm telling you, I grew up with the Silver Age comics of Avengers, and
I meant the Avengers team. You've been going out all over the place.
And the facts are, when you have Vision to be one of the main characters, it kind of ruined that character to where, oh well, let's just take him away or let's destroy him and all that crap. But it really kind of made me like, what are you doing with that character? And also, let's give him a family. I don't know what they were trying to do with that character. If you actually,
every time they try to start families with superheroes or have that legacy, they destroy it. They just destroy it and go back to the classics. That's one of my.
They destroyed my family, but go for Bendis.
Well, that's but that's.
I think that was an editorial mandate by Dan DiDio for that. I don't think it's really Bendis' fault.
I agree.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Bendis. Bendis loves to take risk on something.
Yeah.
When the moment I read that book, he was like, I pray to God everyone likes it. It's like he's holding back. And the only times he does something risky, it's just very small. Like John, having John Kent to be aged up a bit.
And tortured by the crime syndicate. It made no sense.
But yet again, they probably editorials wanted him aged him up faster because we want him to replace Superman.
Or put him to read a superhero with a mistake.
Yeah, that's one of my things about Jeff Johns' work. Every character that was a legacy character, he just throw to the side for the Silver Age versions of the characters.
I mean that Jeff Johns need more the deal.
Tell you the truth. Dude, when you are Jeff Johns, you don't say a word. I think it's more like him pretty much saying that stuff. I think personally, Jeff Johns is a guy to where he really does what he wants to do, and he's a good writer when he puts it on. But I mean, when he really lacks on the storytelling aspect, no one says a word about it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I know he wrote Avengers.
I know
he wrote Avengers once.
All right, go on.
Yeah, Bendis and Jeff Johns, when they were writing during the time of the 2000s, they are the sides of the same coin when it comes to they're kind of doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
It's not Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns would care about continuity.
But
Bendis did not care about continuity. He said, fuck continuity. I'm gonna do whatever I want.
but here's my problem with Bendis. Actually, I wouldn't say my problem. Like, here's the one thing I like about Bendis. I liked about Bendis to where he was pretty much a guy to where he just wants to tell a risky storytelling, and he does it. And granted, people shit on him for doing it, but it pays off it later on because when you see other writers taking over, it makes his previous story look good. You get what I mean?
What's the word too? But it villain that failed midway.
That was basically a publicity stunt. I feel like
Yeah,
Bendis,
cash grab.
that was basically
Yeah, I
Marvel
think
said.
Civil War 2 was like an editorial mandate.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been good talking to you, man. I gotta end this. I gotta go call it a day.
Yeah, and then you get to sleep.
All right. I'll see you right. Okay. Well, I want to see this. Right.
Trending here, I didn't even know articles in. I do, Glenn.
No trending on things on hating for. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get you.
And the one thing man to pass on because they think I'm going to kill us. You're not wrong about that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I understand that. That's personally, and I would say, well, if you keep it going, you're gonna have that character go dry. Look at
Well,
Spider-Man.
I have ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Look at Spider-Man, for example. He just doesn't have any fucking progress to himself.
What is it infuriating? I'm just saying people may
Yeah, but
should be married with a kid.
Tell you, you're missing the point. It's been that way since the death of Gwen Stacy.
I disagree.
Yeah, the death of Gwen Stacy was.
You couldn't tell me that. I'm sorry. But anyway, Anyway, I got to get going. I'll see you later. It's good talking to you, 616, man.
All right.
We'll have another podcast. I'll have another like a podcast or a group chat, and I'll have like everyone come down and we'll all chat together. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Anyway, subscribe to my group. What?
Yeah.
What did you say? What did you say something? You say something?
I was like, oh, see ya.
All right. Subscribe to my good friend Tevya. We'll see you guys next time. We talked about a lot of shit. Predator, DC, comic books, all that shit in one. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.